Hello there, folks, and welcome to another edition of
This is just in.
First up in the news, Geekthulhu, the former co-host of multiple Andy Warski shows, has been pretty ticked off at Andy Warski. It seems that since Andy has been co-hosting the Killstream, Geekthulhu feels like he was left in the dust. And to get back at Warski, Geekthulhu has decided to try and ruin him.
They flagged me down on the other one. But yeah, so Andy Adol, what are you doing, man? You're just gonna go flag people because they're saying things about you? Boy, oh boy. What are you guys so scared of? Yeah, everybody, look, it's Subcultured Live, the channel that Andy never promoted. Oh man. They do not want the dirt out, do they? They do not want the dirt out. Flag this one, Andy. I'll trust me, man. You don't want what's gonna happen next, my man. They just take it down willy-nilly.
Yeah, it's that news. SJWA for not Discord, for YouTube to fucking ban people. They just tell you were bad, but they don't tell you what you did.
You were a bad, bad boy.
Were you streaming tonight and you got yeeted off air?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, like within
now,
like
too.
I don't even think I made 5 minutes, really.
Nope, you made it to 8.
Fuck.
Eight,
Over 8 minutes.
little over 8 minutes, and then
Bro.
they flagged me. Here. Okay, let's see. What was I? What did I do bad? Okay, violated. We know. What? Don't allow on YouTube. It was flagged for review upon review. I wonder what they reported it for. They don't even tell you what they reported you for? Andy, Adolf,
We know
this is the worst mistake you could have made. Now I'm going to dish on you. To anybody. You fucking idiots. Oh, man. I talk about the time that you basically said if I don't talk to you, like after you ghosted me, and because I was like walking away, he was all pissed off at me because I guess Sinead got in his ass about it, going, because like I'd been there and helped him out with a whole bunch of shit, and he just basically fucking wrote me off to go hang out with the Gunt, to go hang out with the Gunt and Dick Masterson and all those people. Like, yo, it's fucked up the way you're treating Geek. Geek's been there for you and helped you out with a lot of shit, and you just fucking blowing him off. And because I just was kind of done talking to him, he was like, you better talk to me or I'll charge you back. He threatened to charge me back. Unfortunately, I can't show the proof of that unless Sinead comes up with it, because I sent her a screenshot of it. Because my Twitter got yeeted a long time ago. He was complaining that Sinead was trying to get some comfort and attention from little old Andy, and he was just tired of it. He just didn't. He's like, I just want to play video games. That's all I want to do is play video games. Why she gotta bother me? Why she gotta harass me? Well, turns out he basically begged her for an abortion, because he didn't want to be a daddy. Oh man, hey Ralph, hopefully you hear this, Ralph. Yeah, Andy was so mad at you because you wouldn't tweet him out and shill his shit, that he was talking to the point of oh, I'm gonna, you know what I should do? You know what I should do? I should fucking leak out that he got a hooker in Miami twice. That what Zoom said was true. And Adol, another guy that's trying to latch onto your coattails, agreed that he should do that. So Andy tells me that Ralph gets a hooker, $500 for a hooker. So she comes over and I guess all the guys were out, and I guess they were coming back, and the hooker was on its way over. So told everybody, hey, you need to get the fuck out.
It's way over.
Well, it's 2020. I don't like to assume people's genders. but so he tells everybody, get the fuck out. Get out. come back in like, I think it was like an hour or 2 hours later. And so they had to leave. And then I think they ended up coming back early, and Ralph got pissed off because they came back early. Well, the very next night, he gets the same hooker again. Reason being is because, she kissed me. Hookers don't do that.
That's amazing.
So not only,
Oh my
God.
Ralph
So-
loves him some hooker kisses.
Oh,
You pay this bitch to put your dick in her mouth, and so does every other guy she sees.
Holy
That's
shit.
the line of
At
kissing.
the
That's
end
a
of the day,
fucking.
But we started talking about Mersh,
oh yeah.
Andy's buddy, old pal, his
Yeah.
his good friend Mersh.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and how
yeah.
much Andy fucking hated Mersh.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
How
exactly.
Mersh was a piece of shit. And how he wanted to get Mersh on the show to do like a fake interview,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, and we were gonna slowly start insulting him, like about his
Yeah.
lazy eye and
bring
It's-
people on the show to shit talk them and be
shit
like,
talk
"Oh,
'em."
I'm so sorry," these fucking callers.
yeah. Mersh, by the way, Andy was gonna set you up. Mersh, by the way, I don't know if you're talking to the Adol guy as well, but yeah, Andy was trying because Red Bar doesn't like you. And Andy's a massive fan. I'm not sure if you picked up on the fact that he's aping Red Bar in every single one of his live streams now. But he was going to have Adol and I dig up all sorts of clips about you. Because there's this one Ranger guy that does a bunch of clips where he basically makes fun of you and tears you apart and sort of bullies you on the internet. Yeah, he wanted us to grab a whole bunch of clips so we could do a video about you and make fun of you after we brought you onto a stream and brought callers on to fuck with you. Yeah, which Hef confirmed because Hef was there when we were talking about it. Yeah, like after Tonkades, we were gonna go after you. Oh, and hey, SoCal, I know you don't like me very much, but just so you know, Andy wanted me to dox you on Cal. And I told him, no, that ain't cool. Because he told me your name. And I did verify it just to see if it was you. And it was you. I found you on Facebook. But yeah, he wanted me to dox you on Cal.
Why?
Because he was pissed off that SoCal was coming out about the payment.
Oh.
Were you here for the thing about him wanting to do a hit piece on Ralph?
He told me he wanted to do a hit piece on Ralph, and this was after he moved out of the house with Ralph. He told me that Ralph was a piece of shit, and that he was never gonna work with Ralph again. And that he hoped that Ralph, that fat piece of shit, had a heart attack and died because he just wanted him and Gator out of his fucking life because they were both losing.
Well, his main thing was, I'm gonna expose him. I'm gonna talk about the Miami prostitute thing, and it's like.
Well, he told me he had something on his phone, like text messages between him and Ralph that proved that it happened. And I was like, all right, well, why don't you screenshot it and give it to me and I'll do it. And he's like, no, it's not the time. I gotta prepare a couple videos on this. I gotta do the videos.
he was
So
super
was this a motherfucker that was leaking fucking shit to you, like confirming that it happened? Because I can say that I told you the fucking truth. I wasn't there. I just heard the rumor.
I heard this from Alex, and I heard it from Andy too. And Andy was like, I want to bide my time until I can come out with Ralph, because apparently like Ralph was too difficult to go after at that point in time, because Ralph had started to get a following back, and he didn't want to lose the few fans he had gained by paying that money back for Miami that he had to pay.
Oh yeah, the thing that me and Failure made him do. We were like, "You got to give that
Yeah.
money back." You
He
can't
was like,
fucking
I
keep
don't want to
it.
lose my fans. And I was like, all right, man, you don't want to. I can understand not wanting to lose the goodwill you built up, but you should probably let this shit go. It's Strickle the Iron Top. People are gonna care. And
Dude, I am gonna go scorched earth on these two. I am fucking done fucking around with these two. Adol, Andy. You brought it, son. And remember what I was saying, Hef. I was waiting for the moment that they would do something stupid.
Yep.
All right, so Krill stream Friday 10 p.m.
Yep.
All right, yeah. We'll definitely
Spread the word.
Spill some tea.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already said a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But callers, be prepared with your questions.
So, Geekthulhu shows up for a guest appearance on the Krill stream. However, he didn't really have anything new to say, and the Q&A section of his appearance did not go the way he was planning.
You want to take some callers? Because we did say we would take some callers. You said you answer anybody's questions or whatever.
Yeah, that was the main point of tonight, was to just answer any questions, because I'm sure people have a lot of questions or didn't like get shit right, because that seems to be a thing. And Boromush just says, Geek Man, not trying to take this away from you, but you sound dejected, make it funny. I'm sorry, man. Like it's just it's a bummer, like, that somebody that you saw as your friend and like you find out he's talking shit about you, he's stealing your work, he stole a channel, dude. It's like it kind of sucks. It's not like I'm some random internet guy.
By an anime larper, Geek. You gonna say that shit?
Go sharpen your fucking Chinese katana, Boro.
Yeah, Boro, come in here and ask Geek which village he's from, you dumb bitch.
De facto product.
Get in the fucking waiting room. The link's right here. Come on, talk some shit.
If you want to ask Geek a
You're
question,
from Portugal. You can be a replacement Andy. Go ahead.
Jump in the waiting room.
We'll pull you on one at a time. You can ask a couple of your questions.
I require you to stutter.
Yeah, you gotta stutter hard, dude. Little bitch.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, hey. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
All right.
Good.
I was gonna say, who gives a flying fuck about any of this?
You stupid bitch. You called in and asked about it.
Well, I didn't call in and ask about it. I'm asking. Okay, maybe I'm not. Maybe let me reiterate. No one cares about this. That's better. No one gives a shit. No one cares. Andy's not saying anything. Has he come out and said anything? I think more people are going at him, and no one gives a shit, because you can't expect anything dumber out of him than he's already done. Like, there's nothing he can do that you would be like, holy shit, I did not see that coming.
Oh, I agree there. I mean, there's nothing.
And you're acting like you are pitch perfect and poor Geek. I feel so sorry for you. You were right there with him the whole time, laughing and carrying on. It's just once he went over to go to Ralph and he left you in the wind, now you're like an ex-girlfriend who's been burned, and you're like, well, I'll show him. I was good to you. Look everything I did for you.
When you find out somebody's talking shit and lying about you,
you're talking about Andy Warski. That's all he did. He doesn't have a fucking honest bone in his body.
Well, the fucking abortion's funny.
What
him
abortion?
Fucking planning to make a hit piece fucking stream on Ralph exposing him for the Horan is funny.
Oh, God. Who, Andy? See, again, I was frozen, so I didn't hear. Is Andy planning on doing this to Ralph?
Yeah, like, a couple months ago?
Yeah.
And now he's
We're trying to fucking burn bridges here, Punky. Have them burn their bridges. Oh, also, Andy was planning on fucking luring Mersh onto a stream and slowly fucking ramping up the pressure and bringing in callers to shit all over him, and then do a hit piece stream on him after that. Yeah, Mersh, you fucking retard. He's gonna fucking stab you in the back. You dumbass.
I look at it this way: the guy went around, lied about me to people. I figure I deserve to go around and tell the truth about him.
What other shit on Andy? Or what else has Andy been doing that kind of made you do your stream on Wednesday?
Well, the impetus or the direct cause of it was I was like sending a message to both Andy and Adol. I sent
under the false pretenses for Adol, you know, the whole blackmailing shit. I was like, if I hear any more shit about this, like, I'll fucking drop shit, dude. Like, I'm tired of all the bullshit. The original idea of the stream was like, you know, I'm just sitting there, I'm just more and more pissed off about it, and then I just started venting, and then with about like 10 minutes 30 seconds, 10 minutes 40, that stream gets flagged down, and then I move over to the Subculture Live account, the one that Andy never promoted, that I asked him to promote a million fucking times. And then you know, it led to, you know, this shit, and so I just started like just dumping shit because I was pissed off, you know. Originally it was gonna be just like, hey, you know, I just don't want to do business. I'm pissed off right now. I don't want to do business.
Geek, we've asked you if there was anything that you missed, because he was tired of hearing you fucking circle around and around and around and around without fucking saying something new. So I'll do it for him because he's trying to be polite to his guest. Is there anything fucking else that you haven't said yet? Because we're all tired of listening to you drone on and 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 on. Is there anything new? Anything fucking new?
All right, guys. Good luck, man. I'm out of here, dude.
All right, nothing new.
I tried to. I told you guys. Like, if I can't answer, like, if people don't have legit questions, then there's no point in me.
You've answered all the questions. There's no
all
more
right,
for you to suck.
Later, guys. Have a good one, Geek.
Fuck, what kind of shampoo does Andy use? Fuck, you haven't told us that yet.
And Geekthulhu was never seen again. Some folks say he descended back into the dark abyss from whence he came. And in other news, it looks like Owen Benjamin has landed his fan base in a whole heap of trouble. After being kicked from Patreon, Owen convinced his fan base to all begin the process of individually suing Patreon for not allowing them to donate to him. And Patreon has responded by taking those fans to court. The whole story was brought to my attention by Davey Krakow, but it all seemed very strange. So, using the cutting-edge technology of something called the internet, I asked Davey Krakow to fill me in on the details of the situation.
All right, Davey Krakow, thank you for joining me. I've just found out about this. Apparently, Patreon is suing Owen Benjamin fans, and you're the one that brought that to my attention, and it's, to me, hilarious what's going on, and I just want to know kind of the details. What exactly is going on? It's not Owen Benjamin being sued, it's his fans, and for what reason?
Owen would be the main catalyst. And I think Vox Dei is in the clear because he left his name off of legal documents. From what I can tell, what happened was Vox put a bug in Owen's ear that there was a legal case being dropped by Patreon, that they are interfering with your business, and what a term that Vox Dei likes to use is called torturous interference. So he got Owen very excited for a lawsuit against Patreon. Now, Owen and about 100 bears brought documents and other things to get to arbitration, and they were all the same document. It was all the same script. They all wrote in the same thing. And then Patreon was basically like, fuck you. And they started taking it serious. And I think now we're going to see Patreon versus Owen, the Bears, and any legal representation that Owen has.
That's crazy. So you're saying Vox Dei got Owen Benjamin to get his fans to threaten to sue Patreon for what exactly?
They're saying terminating Owen Benjamin's Patreon for terms of service violations was a clear and direct anti-free speech. They're interfering in his business practices, telling you where you can and can't spend money.
So Owen gets kicked off Patreon, and his reaction is to get his fans to sue Patreon.
Well, he just wanted more people basically to come and say, like, I wanted to pay for this service, now I can't pay for this service, and it's just a whole amalgamation of his cult following listening to anything he says, and Owen listening to anything that Vox says.
Okay,
and these are the people that people have been giving money to for a year and a half for a streaming site that doesn't stream.
Yeah, I remember I did talk about the what was that? What was the name of that? The streaming site they were supposed to be making?
It's still around. It's still up. It's unauthorized. They're in the 2.0 stage. They just told their fans they bought a new server, so they need more money.
Oh, they need more money, and they still haven't started streaming there yet, have they?
They can't. They literally can't stream there. Like this was my whole point when I got into it with them, but no one wanted to listen to me. But I go, another day of not streaming. So I just don't know how they don't see it. So they're trying to bring Patreon to arbitration.
So this is what started what the Owen Benjamin fans did in order to kick this all off.
Yeah, so this is a memorandum of points and authorities, and this is the introduction. Each of the 72 defendants, which was 100, in this action has asserted identical individual claims in arbitration against Patreon, despite the fact that the contract between Patreon and those defendants provides that Patreon has the right to litigate the claims in court rather than arbitration. So they're basically saying we don't need to go to arbitration. We can go directly to court if you have a problem. That the specific claims defendants assert are non-viable, and the arbitrability of those claims must be decided in court, not by an arbiter. The individual defendants are deliberately pursuing a strategy of filing numerous meritless jams arbitrations. Now, a jams arbitration is known as a judicial arbitration and mediation service. Basically, they're just using a legal maneuver that wouldn't be used in this case, and it's going to be thrown out. Preliminary injunction on the terms set forth in the attached proposed order is necessary to maintain the status quo and prevent immediate irreparable harm to Patreon pending this court's determination on the merits. Patreon knows that these are people that were patrons of Owen. First, Patreon is likely to obtain the declaratory relief it seeks, meaning they're going to want to any lawsuits, any arbitration, anything that any of these bears do, they're going to end up paying Patreon's legal fees. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. I'm not Nick Ricotta. I'm not a professional YouTube lawyer, but this is how I see it. Every defendant has claimed that Patreon breached a written contract with that defendant. So this is what they're calling when you pledge $5 to somebody, you got into a written contract. And since they removed Owen for terms of service, they breached that contract. When we all know, and we all don't like it, and we all don't want censorship, and I don't care what Owen says, there are terms of service, and they do get rid of people. So what they're saying is that's called torturous interference, and this is Vox's favorite term. This is the one he used against me when he was going to sue me and for defamation. When I called unauthorized a scam, he said I torturously interfered with his business. So it's basically the only legal term he knows. Owen. So with the third party, Owen Benjamin Smith, when Patreon removes Benjamin from its platform for engaging in hate speech in violation of terms of service, the express and unequivocal contract language provides that Patreon has absolute discretion to terminate any user for any reason. No user may bring a claim based on a suspension or termination of another user. So this is the crux of it. Defendants, the 72 people, create Patreon accounts and agree to Patreon terms of service. So he broke the guidelines over the course of 18 months. He linked blacks to AIDS. He mocked Hollywood rape survivors. He targeted the Jays, people for scorn on the basis of religion. So soon after that termination, Smith, through his attorney, Philip Mann, and that's short for Manopolis. I'm not kidding. That's his name. Filed a jams demand for arbitration, asserting claim against Patreon for breach of contract and torturous interference. Mann told Patreon, their head of legal, that he also represented 83 individuals, ostensibly Smith's former patrons, who intended to file 83 individual demands for arbitration to be administered by jams. It's just a way to get to arbitration, and you want to make a settlement before you go to court.
Okay.
So they intended to file 83 individual claims, and this was all a script written by Vox and Owen. They all wrote the same individual demands for arbitration to be administered. Concerning the matter of patrons' interference, torturous interference, in their separate contractual relationships with Owen, the following day, Mann invited settlement discussions. So instantly, it's all about let's get a settlement.
Okay.
Stating those conversations between Mann and Patreon would certainly address all arbitrations we have mentioned, including Smith and those yet to be filed. So here's the crux of it. On November 15th, 2019, anticipation of a settlement conversation with Patreon, Mann, that's the lawyer, made a settlement demand. He wants, with the threatened 83 additional claims, unless Patreon agrees to pay Smith, Owen Benjamin, $2.2 million and reinstate the Patreon account. Mann continued, our intention is to address all claims, Smith and his individual patrons, and any discussion with you based upon the required belief above. Then Patreon rejected that. So in December, so that was November 5th.
They didn't accept that. You don't go in like, dude, it's looking bad on their part, real bad.
Here's a funny one. He did it on November 15th, and as anybody that knows that uses YouTube, that's payday. That's just a weird little wrinkle to it that he's, using that day.
What do you mean payday?
That's the day that AdSense puts the money into your account.
Is it? I never knew that. I don't make enough money, I guess.
Well, like you get it at the end of the month, but the 15th is when they put it in there.
Okay, I didn't never caught on to that.
So Patreon rejects the $2.2 million and the reinstatement of his account. That's not good enough. December 2019, Mann increased the demand. He informed Patreon that he would file individual claims now of 100 users, unless Patreon agreed to pay Smith $3.5 million and reinstate Smith's account. Patreon rejected that demand as well.
This sounds like I don't know what you'd call it. Is it blackmail
Extortion?
Extortion? Yeah, like we're gonna. Oh, damn, dude.
They just want money. And what's funny is none of these people are gonna get money, and Owen isn't gonna cover their court fees at all.
Oh no, I definitely don't expect him to help those people out. He uses those people. He's not gonna help them. But so just like a grand picture on all this, at least what I'm getting from what you've told me, it sounds like Owen Benjamin gets kicked off of Patreon, wants to sue Patreon, or at least knows that if he threatens to sue or has some kind of way of going at them legally, that he can most likely get a settlement. And so, in order to make this, put him in a position where he can offer or accept a settlement from Patreon, he gets all of his fans to threaten litigation, and then makes a quick decision, once he gets in contact or has a back and forth with Patreon. Who was that guy that was offering, or that was throwing down the 2.2 million and we'll stop thing? Who was that?
So that guy's name is
Mann?
Philip Mann, and he is the lawyer for Owen Benjamin.
So that's Owen Benjamin's lawyer is the one that threw out the 2.2 million and then the 3 million, and then then we'll stop. So, wow.
Yeah, and there's gonna be.
What does he think is gonna happen? This is probably the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
There's gonna be more things coming.
That's insane.
There's gonna be.
Owen
be
used
more.
His fan base to make threats, and is using his lawyer to say, you know what, pay me money and we'll call it all off. I won't sick all these dogs on you, even though they don't have anything. And so Patreon's responded by suing all the people that have been throwing these papers, this legal jargon at them, thinking that they know that the law, and obviously they don't understand terms of service or terms of use. Wow, that's crazy. So what's going to happen with Owen Benjamin? So the fans are being sued. Is Owen Benjamin going to get is he going to get dealt with by Patreon for concocting this whole scheme?
I think if you file false settlements, there could be repercussions. I definitely think he will be responsible for paying legal fees for himself and Patreon. I think Vox Dei stays in the clear because he made sure to stay out of it, which is great. Like, I respect that about Vox. Because out of all the daddies Owen could have picked, he could have had Rogan, he could have had Crowder, he could have had Peterson. He chose Vox Dei, and this is what happens.
Huh. So did Vox Dei have anything to do with this?
Vox Dei is the one whispering sweet nothings into Owen's ear.
So you think
but I just don't think
he gave him the
legal.
idea?
I am not exaggerating when I say that there is a definite possibility. I can't estimate the probability with any, because there's too many variables involved, but I would say that there is at least a 1 in 4 chance that Patreon is not going to survive this legal dispute. Based on the way that they are approaching things, they have absolutely no idea how potentially serious the thing is. And so we'll see. But if it disappears this year, you'll all know why. Dan in Georgia says, much smaller company than I thought they were. Yeah, exactly. I thought they were much bigger. I thought they were considerably bigger than they are, and that's why I was a little bit concerned that we might have overdone things. C'est la vie. If that's how it works out, that's how it works out. I mean, you know me. I don't mind collecting an entire pile of skulls.
This is just someone sending something to Vox Dei on his blog just to prove the point that Vox Dei lies. Try responding to this. You talk daily about your lawsuit against Patreon, yet have never said what it is about. Why are you suing them? Because Owen got kicked off? Clearly, that is not enough reason for them. Are you denying Owen broke terms of service? How would you know if Owen broke terms of service or not, since you claim to not watch videos anyways? Also, you frequently mention that you were a national merit semifinalist. Oh yeah, he's in Mensa, if you didn't know. I'm not even kidding. He says that. Something along those lines. Also, comment on if you ever considered that you may have narcissistic personality disorder. Your IQ is nowhere near 150. But yeah, it's clear that you are a fraud. Respond, bet you can't. Vox Dei responds. I have never said a single word about a lawsuit against Patreon, much less, quote, my lawsuit against them. So he's backing
distancing
away. He is distancing and falling all on Owen. And I see a breakup coming as soon as Owen realizes how much he's been duped. Philip Mann, the lawyer, is a frequenter on Owen Benjamin's blog. So this is one of their people. And I think we end it with Vox Dei trying to soothe Owen Benjamin.
Patreon has filed a lawsuit in California against 72 of the 95 or so hackers who are in arbitration against them.
The irony about all of this is by them doing this, they're just opening up their jaw to the hardest hook imaginable. Every time they throw a haymaker, they open up their jaw. So you take a little jab, I'll hook you in the jaw. And I'll cringe. Someone needs his meds. My generation doesn't take meds.
I think that's really all you need to see from Owen Benjamin and where he's at.
Good God, he looks like he needs some meds. Look at him. So you've brought this whole thing up to Nick Ricotta, and
I've talked to him.
And so you brought this whole thing up to Ricotta, and you're not getting any kind of response. He's not commenting on it at all, or
he said I've been very busy lately, and then he said I haven't had time to look into it. I don't believe. And I think and you can cut this out if you want, but I think there's a cabal of the Mike Cernoviches, Vox Deis, these kind of people that kind of keep the boots on the neck of some of these other people. The fact that Nick Ricotta won't criticize him at all.
Him being who?
Vox Dei.
Yeah, okay, so you don't think he's going to criticize Vox Dei?
He did one stream explaining the Patreon suit in February, which he just kind of explained what arbitration was. Let's have an interview. Let's sit down and really get into it. Maybe have a couple of laughs. Maybe, let's just talk about what's going on other than what arbitration means. Like, I can Google that myself. But a very funny thing that's on your screen right now, Vox Dei put this up. He has a thing called Social Galactic, which we have insiders. We have insiders on every one of their paywall operations. That's where they write their secret messages. And I also have people that DM with Vox Dei that send me messages. So this one was, attention, arbitration bears. If you're one of these 72 on the Reddit list, he calls it the Reddit list.
That's the list of people being sued by Patreon?
That's the court document right here. Since it got posted to Reddit, now it's a Reddit list. This is how he
spins it.
Manipulates his fans into this is a Reddit fucking, it's all about this is a Reddit thing, guys. This is they're hyping it up. Oh, they're even doxing these people. It's a court document.
Yeah, that's his spin on the whole thing.
So attention, all bears. If you're one of the 72 on the list, be aware that Patreon may try to serve you, since the judge refused to grant them the preliminary injunction to stop arbitrations that they were seeking. It's useful if you can avoid being served. but don't worry if it happens.
Yeah, don't worry, it's gonna be fine.
Like, you're gonna get served. Like, this is what they got them to get into. Not only did they pay him about $700,000 for leather-bound books that they never got, not only have they been paying into unauthorized for years, not only has there been book clubs designed as money laundering schemes, they're all money laundering schemes. Now he's telling his fans, oh yeah, definitely write these scripted messages to the court. You might be served. Please try to avoid being served. Like,
yeah, that's dumb. That's one of the dumbest statements I've ever heard. Just avoid it. Just don't get served. It's that easy, guys.
they just wanted to get to arbitration. Patreon said, how about court? And now that's where they're at. You can see the list here. Court reporting services, declaration of notice of application, summon issued to plaintiffs of Patreon Inc. Added to calendar for order to show cause of preliminary injunction. Hearing is set for July 13th, 2020 at 9:30 a.m.
No, this is crazy. Like, who started this? Owen Benjamin got his fans to go over and try to threaten Patreon into giving a settlement, and Patreon instead is going, nope. In fact, you're gonna pay all of our legal fees because we're taking this to court. And it's like, whoa, you know. And
I think they just finally got fed up, and to use one of Vox's term, I just think they got sick of the ankle biters. They're gonna get past arbitration, and I think
take it to court.
Take it to court,
because they know they don't have them. They know the Bears don't have a case at all.
No, they definitely don't have a case at all, and Owen's in a very bad predicament, and I think they're gonna end up paying fees. But this is why I wanted. I'm not calling Nick Ricotta a legal expert. I call him a YouTube lawyer. So, again, if he was an actual lawyer, how much time would he have for YouTube? I don't know. I'm not trying to like diss the guy, but like, come on, man. Like, you should be in a round table on this, and we should really be talking about this.
You did a show with Wild Smile, and I caught it a little late, and I just happened to be watching it, and saw the thing about Owen Benjamin and his fans being sued, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what's going on? So, I'm glad you came on. I appreciate you coming on to kind of fill me in on what's going on here. This is, I think, hilarious. It sounds like Owen Benjamin had a plot to get a settlement, and his ammunition was throwing his fans at Patreon, and now they're all screwed. Let's see if he's gonna help him. I doubt it. And it looks like it's not looking good for Owen Benjamin right now, or Owen Benjamin fans.
Do you enjoy these videos? Do you want more? This just in? Well, help us grow. Tell your uncaring family, tweet it out to your loser friends, think about me while making love to your spouse. How's about a thumbs up? Maybe check out the Patreon and tip your entertainer. The more feedback these videos get, the more videos I'll make. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to spread the word and tell the world about... This is just in.